hit the ground running because on his first official day as congressman, he already filed 10 House bills, including the Guide Bill, E-Governance Act, and free legal assistance for police and soldiers. Coming from a family of leaders and public servants, he is among the youngest lawmakers in the Philippines today at 28 years old, but he looks much younger than that.
This is no other than the eldest son of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., Ilocos Norte 1st District Representative, Congressman Sandro Marcos.
Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning, Sir Roy. Good morning, Mondina. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, how would you characterize your journey to Congress? Was it bumpy? Was it challenging? Or was it fun?
All of the above?
All of the above.
No, I made sure that I was well prepared enough for it by, of course, working with Majority Leader and soon-to-be Speaker Martin Romualdez. I worked in his office for 2.5 years. So I think that prepared me. I don't think there's anything that can prepare you for a political campaign kapag ikaw yung kandidato. So that in some sense was bumpy, but it was rewarding. I enjoyed it, and I'm happy that I was able to come out victorious.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Sandro, looking back at that time still, did you encounter any difficulties that you weren't expecting at all? Or if not, then are there any memorable moments that you can share with us?
I always knew it would be hard. Sa totoo lang, malakas din yung kalaban ko.
Yeah.
So, I knew that we would have had to work. Okay. But I had a very good team with me. The assistance of course, our Senator Amy, my cousin Matt, and my whole team, my whole campaign team. So it was really a journey that I enjoyed, and I just hope now to be able to deliver.
Did you get any advice from your parents about like how to handle the campaign and meeting
just
people?
To make sure that you start from the grassroots up.
Okay.
Puntahan mo yung mga malayo na barangay, no matter how small, no matter how big, just to make sure that you do it and to keep your head down.
Okay, it's good advice.
I should say he has the benefit of experienced politicians in the family. But again, speaking of family, what are the things you are most proud of your parents?
Well, my dad is now president. That's something to be proud of, I think.
Definitely.
No, they really do bring me so much pride. And my mom does not like to be in the limelight, but if only you saw how hard she worked during the campaign, everything that she did behind the scenes. We love her dearly. And so yes, I'm proud of both of them.
About your father, what is like as a parent, how would you describe him as a father?
Chill lang. Chill lang. When we were younger, he was a little strict. I guess because bata lang kami. But when we grew older, when I was in college naging opposite. Yung naging stricto yung nanay ko. My dad
became your friend.
So my dad's logic naman is that he made sure we grew up the right way. When you reach a certain age, ang decision nyo na. So I already taught you what's right, what's wrong. You know what to do. I trust you enough to do the right thing. I'll let you make that decision.
Okay.
Any memorable experience na masasabi mo na, kaya mo nasabi that chill lang siya?
In what way is he chill?
In what way is he chill?
So many instances But I guess the night before election day, hindi ako nakatulog. Mga 2 araw. I would keep on walking back and forth in the room. I said, Dad, ako congressman lang, ikaw pangulo tinatakbo mo, ba't ang ano mo lang? Ba't ang chill mo lang? He said, when you've done this long enough, you have to understand that basta alam mo sa sarili mo, ginawa mo lahat. Lahat na kaya mo. You did everything that you could. You made sure everything fell in the right places. There's not much more you can do than that. So just accept whatever result that comes out, accept it with dignity, accept it with pride, knowing that you did your utmost.
So I guess at some point you have to let go of any kind of control on the results, right?
I don't know if he was just pretending to be cool. I'm sure deep down nervous
He was
din yan.
worried, yeah. But
Butterflies in the stomach.
Definitely.
yeah, and
For all of us.
well, still on that experience, looking back, what was going through your mind, and what were you feeling when you were taking your oath of office, administered by no less than your dad, the president?
It was surreal. It was surreal. I know my lolo did it for my dad, which is why my dad wanted to do it for me. And he said naman, I was supposed to do it in Ilocos. But sinabi niya sa akin, how often can I tell someone that I, the president, administered the oath to my own son?
Diba?
So nakipag-usap, and he said, can I be the one? So I was super happy. Special moment.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was you took your oath in Malacanang,
I did, yes.
and that's where your lolo and your dad lived for quite a long time.
Yes, yes. Ako naman hindi ako titira dyan.
We'll talk about that.
Sure.
But mga Katribo, we're only getting started. We'll know more about Congressman Sandro Marcos when Straight Talk returns.
Welcome back to Straight Talk. We're still with Congressman Sandro Marcos, and before the break, we were talking about his journey getting to where he is now. So we'd like to know, was there anything that changed in your lifestyle routine when you became a congressman?
Maybe not as much as congressman, but more as presidential son.
Okay, tell us about it.
Nagulat ako sa daming PSG na sumasama sa akin ngayon.
Okay.
I remember last weekend, I tried to go to the mall to watch a movie.
Oh, you did?
Alam mo naman, punong-puno yung mga mall kapag weekend. So, I tried to be as low-key as possible. But ang hirap talaga when you have... And I said, I don't think I can do this anymore.
Oh, really?
Nahihiya talaga ako. I understand that it's necessary. I know kailangan talaga. But it's gonna take some adjustment.
Yeah. What was it like for you before? Because you were already a public figure, so people recognize you, I'm sure, when you go out.
Public figure, yes, but not as much as I am now, I guess, or as because of my dad. So iba talaga. I remember in 2016, 2017, I was allowed to drive anywhere by myself.
Wow.
No security. My parents wouldn't mind. And then, I guess, the more I went on, wala, hindi na pwede.
So, is that something you're ready to give up for now?
I don't think I have much of a choice.
So, how are you doing that? How are you trying to accept that fact? Because that's like your freedom to move around. It's gonna be gone.
It's something that I knew I had to prepare for. Especially when my dad announced, you always have to think that he's going to win. So I came to terms with it pretty quickly. Okay. Tama what my former boss said, na wag ka na lang tumakas sa mga PSG, huwag mo na gayahin yung tatay mo at yung tita mo. Huwag mo na silang gayahin, gawin mo na lang kaibigan para mabait sila sa'yo. So that's, you know,
give you some leeway about
that's the route that I decided to take.
Okay.
Unlike my father and my tita Aimee, they would have competitions. kung sinong may mas magandang idea kung paano makatakas sa PSG.
Okay.
Well, you're saying now that as presidential son, you have to live with increased security, and of course, as a public figure, in this time, panahon ngayon ng social media, and you're very much visible in social media. Your Instagram account, over 900K followers. How do you handle negative criticisms or bashing in the media, if there are any?
I don't really, there's no such thing as a politician with a 100% approval rating. That's never gonna happen. So I just take it in stride. It's a two-pronged thing. You always have to be open to criticism as a public servant because that's what makes you better. At the same time, there will be a faction of people that no matter what you do or no matter what you say, will always go against what you say. If I say the sky is blue, they will tell you the sky is red. Kasi ganun lang talaga sila. At the same time though, it should be taken with a grain of salt because that's the only way you can better yourself as a politician, as a public servant, by listening to the people who think you're not doing enough. I just think that should be juxtaposed with what you see on the ground. Because iba talaga kapag nararamdaman yung tao kung ano yung ginagawa mo. I always say performance is the best equalizer. And nakikita mo naman talaga kapag may utang na loob yung tao sa'yo sa mga ginagawa mo.
Yeah, no? I think it takes a lot of inner strength to be able to face criticism like that.
Either that or you just get used to it.
Yeah. So anyway, another quality that we've noticed about you is that you still practice that Filipino way of showing respect, pagmano. And we'd like to know how come you're very magalang like that, and how can we instill this quality among the youth today, do you think?
To tell you the truth, I don't think that's anything out of the ordinary. We're all taught to do that as kids. So it's just stuck with me, and I don't think anyone else is any different. Maybe I don't know any better, but I always think it's just a sign of respect.
Okay, it's very good. It's very good. It's very nice to see, because I think the reason we're asking this is because it's not very common nowadays among the youth. So, yeah.
Although may mga tao din na when I was campaigning, lumalapit ako sa kanila, nagmamanaw. Hoy, hindi pa ako ganun katanda.
Ayaw. On the other hand,
don't ever do that to me again.
Well, so it's a double-edged sword.
But no, I mean, I think everyone knows naman that it's a sign of respect.
Yes.
And that, we're taught to do that as kids.
I know. And I really wish.
Sa mga probinsya, marami pa rin. Pero dito sa Manila, mukhang that's a disappearing practice.
It is.
Well, I hope it's a tradition that never disappears.
Yes.
I think it's a very good tradition.
I agree.
And, showing respect to the elderly must be a value that we must continue to cherish.
Yes.
And speaking of values and traditions, you are now a lawmaker, a congressman. But if you're not wearing that kind of hat, what would you want to do and what do you enjoy doing?
Like any 28-year-old, hindi na ako bata, but I'm not, a full adult yet, I guess you could say at 28. Or rather an old adult. Pwede ko naman yan siya, matagal na tayo magkakilala.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. But like any other 28-year-old, I'm into sports. I like seeing my friends, spending time with family, going on trips with them if I can. Normal, nothing out of the ordinary. I love cooking, which not a lot of people know about me, yes. Yeah.
What kind of dishes would you want to cook?
Iba-iba. I live alone now, but when I was in the UK, I can't eat out every day. Ang mahal. So, actually, may usapan kami with my roommates is I'd cook because I enjoy it anyway. I'd cook 3 times a week. Sila yung bibili ng groceries.
What kind of food did you used to prepare?
A lot.
Adobo, no?
Yes, I used to cook
Classic.
them sinigang. But then, also not Filipino food. I can cook Italian, I can cook Spanish, I can cook iba-iba.
Okay.
All right.
Something you learned today.
Going through your Instagram pictures, I've also seen you doing as DJ. You love music.
I love
like
music.
your father.
Yes, I
What
love
kind of music do you love? Is it different?
Everything from jazz to rock to blues to house to hip hop, kahit ano. I got that from my dad. He ever since. Actually, our victory gift to him na nga is we got him a vinyl player with speakers. Sometimes in the morning, mga 7:30, before he has his breakfast, I'll find him. He's just nakaupo lang siya, ganito, listening to his record player that we got him.
All right.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'm happy that we were able to get that. But we really got that from my dad. All of us, me and my brothers all love music because of him. And yes, I used to DJ. I still kind of do, but not really anymore. Yeah, I don't think ever nagkaroon yung batasan ng isang congressman DJ, but
First time, right?
no, I mean, I used to do it for my parents when I was in school. I said, Mom, Dad, taas nyo naman yung allowance ko. And they said, no. if you want to make more, if you want to have more money, go make it. And I was already DJing, so I ended up having it as a side job. I worked for an event management company for, I think, the better part of 3 years. Part of which was DJing at their events. So that was my way of making more money while I was in school. And I guess it was the best job ever because I just got paid to have fun. Because it's something that I would do anyway. So that's how I picked it up. I've been doing it since I was 12 years old, so 16 years now.
Wow. That's a long time. Anyway, it's getting very interesting, but before we continue, here are a few reminders. Straight Talk will be back.
You're still watching Straight Talk, mga katribo. And still with us is Congressman Sandro Marcos. At syempre, para may iba naman ng usapan, I'm going to ask a question that could be controversial.
Okay.
Still a young adult, as you said, not yet a full adult, but when do you think is the right time for you to, are you considering now to settle down and build a family of your own?
Absolutely not. Ang layo pa. No. I think wala pa yan sa isip ko. I just plan on I guess working hard here in Congress, but enjoying my youth while I can.
But you do have some...
You're seeing someone.
You're seeing someone?
Okay, so contrary to what people might believe, sa dami kong nakita sa social media, that's actually, I am single. So, sa mga taong nagti-TikTok dyan, don't believe everything you see. Alam mo yung nangyari is, karamihan sa mga kaibigan ko na babae, ginawang item. Kung sino-sino. And I mean, these are my, they're
Friends.
my closest friends ever since. I guess that's bound to happen. So that's okay for me.
And because of this na ginawang items, ang dami mong follower na heartbroken.
Ay, fans.
Reading at the
The fans.
comments.
I don't know what to say to that.
Let's make him more uncomfortable, Pablo.
I don't know what to say to that. But I mean, you know, I don't even know if it comes with the territory of being the son of the president. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if nangyari ba to kay Baste? I don't have no idea. Actually, it did. It did.
Yes,
It did?
yes,
It did. I
of
remember it
course.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that to me is not important. It's not. I don't. I always like to remind people, please, hindi ako artista. Please, I'm a public servant. I'm here to make sure that, Ilocos Norte, lalo na yung first district, gets everything that they need and develops in the way that we need it to develop. I've never been. I have friends that are ang dami kong kaibigan na nasa showbiz, but I've never been one to associate myself with being an artista or being like that, and I hope people understand that. I understand that it's part of it, and I guess having that following on social media, but no matter what, hindi ako magiging artista. And it's just, that's no disrespect to the profession, but I can't act, I can't sing. I'm not. I'm not talented in that respect. I'd rather stick to what I think I'm better at.
On to more serious
On to
things
more serious
naman.
matters.
Kasi naman.
As I said before, you hit the ground running. You filed 10 bills just June 30.
10. Wow.
So that shows you how serious he is as a legislator. But how do you want to be known as a lawmaker?
The idea of 10 bills is a nice one, but I think the focus on quality over quantity. I think sometimes there's an issue where, and I guess because it's quantifiable, but this congressman, 300 bills authored, 400 bills co-authored, kung ano-ano. How many became laws? How useful was the law that they passed? Is it a robust law that will not be ratified or changed in the coming administrations? It's hard to think in those terms because it's easy to grasp a number. But I think 10 is a good number, but it has to be 10
Really good ones.
good bills. And I'd rather have 10 good bills than 100 okay ones. And I'd rather have 10 bills that be passed into law than 100 that aren't at all. But with regard to that, and with what you said of how I think I want people to remember me, I think it's just someone who, number one, above all else, Congress is a collegiate body, and you have to represent and fight for the institution. And you will always get told, and I was always told during my time as a staffer here, is that you must always protect the institution first. And I think I would like to be remembered as someone as that. Someone who protected the institution, someone who fought by the institution, and someone who did the institution proud by being an efficient and I guess humble lawmaker.
Okay. So out of the 10 bills that you filed already, what would be the priority for you?
Well, the first one, the
guide.
guide. Because I was actually in the Go Negosyo event last night. But MSMEs make up the majority of the businesses in our economy, which means they were also the hardest hit, and they still are the hardest hit. And even if we are enjoying, I think, upwards of 7.5% GDP, that doesn't necessarily mean that the growth translates to that sector of the economy. So the guide bill aims to give, I think, 10 billion pesos to DBP and Land Bank as loan credit for the MSME sector. So that, I think, would be one of the priorities. Not just of the Congress, but of course, as we saw with our president, it's also one of the priorities of the executive.
Yes.
Assisting our MSMEs. So hopefully, we can get that through as quick as possible so that there's access to credit within that sector of the economy. And above all else, even if they don't feel that 7.5%, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying they might not. I need to study it further. But even if they do, that 10 billion multiplies into jobs, into work, into innovation that sometimes can't be quantified by an amount. So it's important to support that sector of the economy. So to answer your question, that would be one of the priorities.
And I think there's also an aspect in your bill that's very important, a unified program, because
Yes.
these lending institutions have their own separate programs for assistance to various sectors of the
Yes.
economy.
Yes.
And so you wanted
It
a
would
more
be
focused intervention by this.
It would be a unified program for the MSME sector. I think there's much still to be done. I filed the bill, so it's in its infancy, so to speak. It's been filed, and it will still have to go through the processes of the House and that of the Senate. And I think while that is happening, we have to speak to the stakeholders, we have to speak to the MSMEs, we have to speak to the lending institutions to really solidify that framework and make sure that all stakeholders are pleased with what comes out.
Okay.
So before we proceed with the other bills that Congressman Sandro Marcos has filed, we will take a short break. So stay with us.
Straight Talk is back. Before the break, Roy and I asked Congressman Sandro Marcos about his priority bills, and we are particularly interested in House Bill number 20, or the Apprenticeship Bill. What does this bill want to achieve, and who will benefit from this?
Well, the Apprenticeship Act, first of all, was filed in order to make some changes into some chapters of the Labor Code of the Philippines.
Okay.
It's in order to create a more robust employment framework for the economy moving forward. A lot of the problems that lie within our economy are not just in unemployment. Unemployment is a very big part of it, but a large part of it is also underemployment. Underemployment happens as a result of a mismatch in the available jobs and what the job seekers or the job market is qualified to do.
Yeah.
Meaning they have to settle for jobs that they aren't necessarily experts in, which results in limited productivity. So the Apprenticeship Act just hopes to institutionalize a framework that will allow for earlier training and more vocational training to people that already know what they want to do. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's from 15 to 18 years old that count as an apprentice. And it's in order to equip our youth with more knowledge of the profession that they want to go into. It is a multifaceted approach. The bill also hopes to give credits. During the apprenticeship program, it hopes to give credits where necessary to the school that you're already enrolled to. Para naman, hindi basta wala yung trabaho mo, di ba? But more than that, I think it's also to instill a good sense of drive, a good sense of motivation for our soon-to-be workforce.
Okay.
And, you know, the Philippines is in this actually very advantageous position in which the population of the Philippines, what we call the rate of dependency. So yung mga matatanda na hindi nagtatrabaho, yung mga bata pa na hindi pa kayang magtrabaho ay maliliit lamang. The biggest sector of our economy now, or our demography, or our demographics rather, is the 15 to 30 years old.
Okay.
Which means we must take advantage of what we call the demographic dividend. That is when the biggest part of your population are those that can work. Because what happens, if you look at the older economies now, like the UK, Japan especially, you know, karamihan sa mga tao dyan matatanda na. Hindi na sila nagtatrabaho, which means
Retired.
the government is paying for them. You are not giving money to the government. They have to spend a lot on healthcare. They have to spend a lot sa pension nila. That takes out expenditures from what you could be doing. Build.
Development.
The different programs, developing the different provinces, developing the different parts of the nations appropriately. So we are in this very good situation that the majority of our population is young and able to work. In order for that to be achieved, they need to be able to work, which means you need to equip them with the necessary tools, with the necessary skills to be able to take on that job market and say, oh, ito available, alam ko, natuto na ako dito, nag-apprenticeship ako dito, nag-internship ako dito. So alam ko na kung paano itong gawin. That way, hopefully, the coming workforce, or the workforce that is coming of age rather, can hit the ground running.
Yes.
And that demographic dividend that we call can be achieved. Because if you look at some of the biggest economies now, they took advantage of that. South Korea especially. So it's malaking bagay pa yan.
So that's going to take cooperation from the private sector, right? And then the schools
Yes.
factor
Yes.
that in their
Yes.
curriculum. or
Ma'am, to
something.
tell you the truth, moving forward, there has to be a cohesive relationship between the private and public sector. What's happened in the past is that I haven't met, I mean, with the exception of some people, but I haven't met a lot, or the majority of people that I've met in the private sector are willing naman to help
Okay.
are willing naman to help, are willing to make sure that our country is in a better situation. Because, I mean, of course, it's probably mutually beneficial to them, but that doesn't mean they're not willing to help. So I think when you say that it needs private sector cooperation,
Yeah, so-
everything needs private sector cooperation. Everything, every bill that you file needs private sector input. Every project will need to have cooperation with the private sector. That's why this administration is going to be so big on PPPs. Public-private partnerships are going to be a foundation of how the build project of former President Duterte gets continued.
Okay.
So that we can do it at a bigger scale, we can make it more efficient, and we can build upon the success of the last administration.
All right.
Speaking about this bill, ito ba galing from personal experience? Because I understand you have familiarized yourself with the jobs of the different department of your father during his tenure as a senator, and also you worked under your uncle,
Yes.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez, in preparation for your future job.
Hindi
as
pa
a
House
lawmaker.
Speaker, Majority Leader.
Majority Leader, soon to be Speaker.
Wait, sorry, what was your question? I
So,
didn't hear.
I
Is
think
it
this
something close
bill
to
was inspired by your experience working,
Somewhat,
trying to familiarize
somewhat.
yourself with the
Somewhat, yes.
legislative work.
Somewhat. It was somewhat inspired by that, but really the inspiration drew more from the fact that, like I said, we are in this situation in which if we do the right things, we can really benefit from it. And that is that the majority of our population is willing and able to work, and that they are in that age in which the government is not so much spending for them, but your productivity or the things that you do in order to work will be to the benefit of the government. Because they're not paying for your pensions, your healthcare bills aren't as high as when you're, extremely old or very young. So it's more to the point that we have to take advantage of that situation.
All right. Speaking of taking advantage of the situation and doing some reforms, particularly with the job and labor sector. Kasi ngayon mainit din. Ang sabi ng iba, many of the problems we are facing is because of problems with our constitution. So this early, mayroon namang nagpo-propose ng charter change in the Senate. And even here in some lawmakers talking about filing a proposal for charter change. What's your thought on this?
I think, for me, it's something that I know a lot of the more tenured, a lot of the more seasoned lawmakers, yung mga talagang magagaling na abogado that are here in the House will be more versed to answer it than I am. What I said when I was asked in the last interview was kailangan ko muna pag-aralan eh. I need to see where the holes are, what the issues are, and I have an idea of it, but I'd rather study it muna, kailangan ko pag-aralan muna bago ko magbigay ng sariling opinion. Ayaw ko naman na magkunwari na alam ko lahat, pinag-aralan ko lahat ng tatanungin mo sa akin tungkol sa House Bill, whatever, ay kabisado ko na dahil hindi naman yan totoo. There's no one that can memorize everything, anything under the sun. And to tell you the truth, my specialty or what I took on was under the branch of economics, finance, and economic development, and of course, the aspect of human growth. Human development and economic growth. But that's not to say, me being a lawmaker, that I will not take on the issue of charter change. What I am saying is, give me a few weeks to study it muna, and then I can give you my opinion. Because I don't want to say controversial, but something as heavy and something as serious as changing the Constitution should really be studied thoroughly. And to tell you the truth, even if I have a rough idea of it, I want to have the nitty-gritty really nailed to the T. So until then, I want to, I guess, keep my opinions to myself.
I guess we can leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that's a very good tack to take because, charter change is such a divisive topic and issue, and in our society today, the cancel culture has become so pervasive.
I don't think it's as divisive. I don't think charter change is as divisive as people make it out to be. I think even people on the opposite side of the political spectrum will tell you that there are certain provisions in the Constitution that have just simply become outdated because of how old it is.
Yes, but
and that's not, there's no denying that because they've come out and said it. What I think is important is that enough due diligence is made to make sure that if the Constitution is ever changed, it is only changed to the point that it has to be changed and not beyond that.
Yes.
Which is what I think some people are scared of.
Yes.
So I think us as lawmakers have to make sure that we are thorough in studying and analyzing what is the best course of action over the next 6 years.
I agree. Because I think a lot of people, because they don't understand the issue as much or they haven't really studied it. So that's why there's that fear or all those issues that they raise. So which causes all those conflict. Which brings me to my next question, which is about cancel culture.
Okay.
All right. So
my favorite.
Yeah. So is it okay for you to cancel someone just because they have opposite views?
My opinion on cancel culture is very simple. In instances such as sexual abuse, rape, you look at some of the instances in Hollywood that have happened, which have triggered cancel culture of certain TV personalities, certain directors, certain actors. That's very understandable. But when you bring cancel culture into the political spectrum and the political discourse that a country is ongoing, it becomes a lazy practice. Because for me, cancel culture is just, I'm too lazy to deal with you. Ayokong intindihan kung saan ka galing. I don't want to understand why you think this way. Instead, dun ka na lang. I'm not gonna talk to you. You're not worth my time. To me, that's not how political discourse works. I found that a lot to do with public service and especially a lot to do with politics is coming to a compromise.
Yes.
It's finding that middle ground where both parties meet and agree. You cannot do that if you say, ay, alam mo, bobo ka lang, ako lang mas magaling sa'yo, dun ka na lang. We are above you. We are above you, and your opinion is not worth my time. That's not productive in any way, shape, or form. So I just think it's come about as the result of people being lazy to understand where other people are coming from. I mean, we live in and everyone is guilty of it. We all live in our own echo chamber sometimes. And sometimes, especially in times of elections or political divisiveness, I guess, those echo chambers become reinforced. And it's very easy, if I'm with 10 of my friends who have the same opinion, to tell the other 5 people on the table next to me na my opinion is superior to yours. But what you have to remember is that that's not how you get people on your side. And people will always forgive you for what you say. And they might forget what you've said to them. They will never forget how you made them feel.
I agree.
If you humiliate them, if you put them down, if you talk down on them and be condescending, they will never ever forget that. And when you are in a situation in which it's a game of numbers, the last thing you want to do is push people away. So, I guess kung ganun ang trip ng tao, di pabayaan na lang natin. But for me, I don't know. I think there are more productive ways to go about it than canceling people.
I like that.
That's a very good answer. And in essence, bringing cancel culture to political discourse is against the idea of democracy.
Well, not necessarily. Democracy is all about free speech, and people are allowed to speak freely. But, they can speak freely, but they also have to accept what the consequences of their speeches are. And sometimes, the way in which you've spoken is not received in the most positive of ways, and it harbors feelings of I don't want to say sadness, but more frustration. So I think that it's something that has to be worked on. Hopefully in due time mawawala din yan.
Yeah. And I think that hope reflects the message of your father's
administration
for unity in the country.
I agree. And I have never seen someone more patient than
your dad.
Than my dad. Kung ano-ano sinasabi nila sa kanya, but he always says, just look at the good in people. Wag mo na pag-isipan yung sinabi nila. Even now, nung natapos yung eleksyon, I asked him, so paano na to? I went up to him, I said, paano na to? Itong tao, sa ibang kampo pumunta. Itong tao, itong kandidato. He said, son, the elections are over. Sabihin mo sa kanila kung gusto nilang tumulong, kung gusto nila pagandahin ang ating bansa, yan ang importante. Pagsamahan mo na silang lahat.
Okay, that's the message of your dad. So, how about you? What's your message to your supporters and critics alike?
Supporters and critics alike? Thank you. Well, to the supporters, of course, thank you. Thank you for sticking by me. Thank you for, I guess, having that faith and that belief in me as a public servant, and hoping that I can make a change in this country, in my district, in my province. And to the critics, I hope that I'm given the chance to prove you wrong.
Nice.
Well said.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Congressman Sandro Marcos.
No problem, guys. Thank you for your time.
For inviting us here today at your office and for joining Straight Talk on
Thanks,
Daily
guys.
Tribune.
Good luck. Stay safe.
And of course, thank you to our Katribus who joined us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
For the latest news and the hottest issues of the day, join us every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Once again, I'm Roy Pelobelio.
And I am Dina Ventura, and this is Straight Talk.
Tribune would like to thank the following: Makati City, SM Supermall, Sharp, Century Peak, Prime Homes, Tulfo, DOTR Railway, LRTA, LRMC, Megawide, PGMA, DBP, CAAP, ICTSI, Aboitiz Power, Aboitiz, Udena, Cocogen, Globe, NLEX, Team Energy, MPT, Philcomsat, FDC, RCBC, Divina Law, Maya, Smart Trade, HMNF, LG, Smart, Maybank, PLDT, Caliraya, Mr. Freeze, Senator Villar, Meralco, Republic Cement, Century Property, EK, Mapicon, Carranza, Houseland, Pag-ibig, Meralco, Isuzu, Toyota, Tok, Suzuki, MG, Angkas, Mitsubishi, Beautyderm, SM Retail, NAC, Mondelez, BPI, Araneta, Insight, Pure Gold, Deco, Watson, Copidoti, Pagcor, and Simply Thai.
Yung Saldariaga po.
Jimmy Murato po sa inyong pambansang palatuntunang Tiyatyahin Mo Baby. Napapakinggan sa DZRJ 8:10 a.m., 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Napapanood sa Sky Cable Channel 224, Kaway Kaway, TV Plus Boxes, Kita Kits, at sa YouTube channel ng DZRJ, sa Facebook page ng DZRJ. Salamat po. See ya!
My name is Ira Panganiban, and my program is Free Spits, aired every Monday to Friday from 5 to 6:30 in the evening on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m., on Sky Cable Channel 224, on digital boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Facebook.com, DZRJ 810 a.m., and our official YouTube channel. Come on and watch us.
This is Francis Guzman. This is Good News Filipinas, where advocacies and action are given priority. Aired every Sunday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Here, this is where truth and health matters.
Ako po si Arnel Doria at ito ang Good Trip, ang lingguhang biyahe po natin sa mundo ng travel, transportation, road safety at environment. Mapapanood po tuwing Sabado, 1:00 hanggang 2:00 dito po sa Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m., on Sky Cable Channel 224, digital boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Mapapanood din sa facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. at sa ating official YouTube channel.
Ako po si Sunny Ilustre and my program is PACC Hour, aired every Saturday from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m., on Sky Cable Channel 224, digital boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Facebook.com, DZRJ 8:10 a.m., and our official YouTube channel.
I'm Ricky Zunga.
And I'm Ruel So.
We are the Double R sa Radyo Bandido.
Aired every Saturday
From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DCRJ 8:10 a.m.
You can also watch the Sky Cable Channel 224.
Digital boxes and on free-to-air TV.
You can watch also in social media site facebook.com DCRJ 8:10 a.m.
And our official YouTube channel.
So you can like,
share,
and subscribe to our social media site.
Hi.
You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. or on YouTube, channel DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Radio Bandido. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Radio Bandido. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
If you like listening to this station, DZRJ 810 AM, there's no excuse not to listen anywhere and wherever you want. Listen on your phone or computer anytime, anywhere in the world. Just download the app for free. How do you download? If you have an Android phone or tablet, go to Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone or iPad, go to Apple App Store. It's that simple. You have 3 choices. Just type in TuneIn Radio. Once the app is downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. For Radio Garden app, once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And for Streema app, that's STREEMA. And once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And now you can enjoy DZRJ 810 AM anytime and anywhere. Hey, it's free.
Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Tita Carmen Ignacio, na nag-aanyaya sa lahat na samahan kami sa aming palatuntunang pulso ng sambayanan na sumasayang papawid araw-araw, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 6 hanggang alas 7:30 ng umaga, dito po sa Radyo Bandido TV, DZRJ 810 AM. At sa bayan din po kaming napapanood sa Sky Cable, Channel 224, sa facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM. At maaari din po kayong mag-subscribe. Ito po ay inyong i-like, pindutin ang bell, at kung maaari po, ito ay inyong i-share sa inyong mga kaibigan, kamag-anak o kakilala dito po sa loob at sa labas ng bansa. Marami pong salamat.
May problema ka ba sa asawa?
Sa kaibigan?
Sa katrabaho?
O sa boss mo? Tanong mo, sagot ko. Tuwing Martes, alas 12 ng tanghali hanggang 1:00 ng hapon.
Maaring mapanood sa Radyo Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, at lahat ng digital boxes at free-to-air TV.
Pwede ring mapakinggan sa DZRJ 810 AM Radio.
Live streaming sa facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM.
At sa aming official YouTube channel. Tandaan!
Ang buhay ay parang batas.
Paminsan magulo, pero may abogadong tutulong sa'yo.
Ako po si Attorney Nikki De Vega.
At ako naman po si Attorney Carlo Nicolas.
Para sa Ang Buhay at Batas.
I am Johnny Gomez of Johnny Gomez Live, aired daily from Monday to Friday at 9 to 10 a.m. on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 810 a.m. on Sky Cable Channel 224, digital boxes, and on free-to-air TV, facebook.com/DZRJ810am, and our official YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm Pia Morato, and my program is Education Radio, aired every Saturday from 8 to 9 in the morning on Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m., on Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV, facebook.com, DZRJ 8:10 a.m., and our official YouTube channel. Don't forget to watch Education Radio every Saturday, where we take the streets into the classroom and the classroom to the streets.
Ako si Vance Fernandez.
Ako si Nolan Ariola.
Ako si Jong Manlapas.
Ako si Romel Madrigal.
Ako si Chris Lucas.
Ako si Roel Tarayaw.
Ako si Jimmy Mausay.
At ako po si Errol Dacame sa programang Reporter's Hour. Inyo pong napapanood at napapakinggan araw-araw mula alas 11:30 ng umaga hanggang 1:00 po ng hapon. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, maliban pag-araw po ng Martes. Tayo po ay live sa Radyo Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 AM. Live din po tayo sa Sky Cable Channel 224, sa mga TV Plus boxes at sa free-to-air TV. Tayo po ay napapanood din sa facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM at sa ating official YouTube channel.
Magandang umaga po mga katribu at welcome po sa ating show na Usapang OFW. Ako po si Goddess Hope Libiran. Okay, actually ito pong Usapang OFW for our opening salvo. Meron po tayong mga i-interviewin in the next few weeks na mga kababayan nating OFW. Ito po yung mga tinuturing nating mga modernong bayani. Ito po yung nagsasakripisyo, nagbibigay ng kanilang oras at buong buhay nila para makatulong po sa kanilang mga pamilya at sa ating bayan. Ngayon, bawat araw po na ating gugugulin para po makapanayam sila, ito po yung mga araw kung saan tayo'y mabibigyan nila ng mga kwento patungkol sa kanilang buhay at kanilang pong mga experiences habang sila po ay nasa abroad. At ngayon naman po, para po sa ating opening salvo, napaka-espesyal nitong ating guest ngayong umaga dahil po masasabi ko talaga na siya po talaga ay isang bagong bayani, lalong-lalo na po sa kanyang pamilya. Ito po, personal ko siyang kilala and witness po ako dun sa kanyang mga naging sakripisyo, sa kanyang mga paghihirap para lang po maiahon yung kanyang pamilya sa kahirapan at makatulong para makapagtapos yung kanyang mga kapatid. Kaya po, kabilang po dun sa ating mga naka-line up for guests ay ito pong ating special guest para ngayong umaga. Isa po siyang OFW na nagtrabaho for so many years, 23 years if I'm not mistaken, sa bansang Hapon bilang isang matagumpay po na entertainer. Aalamin natin po kung ano yung kanyang mga hirap, yung kanyang mga tagumpay na natamo niya sa paghahangad ng isang mabuting kinabukasan para po sa kanyang pamilya at para na rin po sa kanyang sarili. She is now a full-fledged blogger habang nandito at nagpapabalik-balik po sa bansang Japan. Let us all welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Pebbles Chururut. Hi, Ma'am Pebbles!
Magandang
magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Good morning, Goddess. Good
Hi,
morning at
ma'am.
maraming salamat sa pag-invite mo sa akin. Ako pa rin opening salvo.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakakatuwa
Alam niyo po, ito ang unang-una naming episode ng Usapang OFW. At kasi based dun sa mga naririnig namin sa aming mga followers sa Daily Tribune at ganoon na rin sa public sphere, talagang sikat yung pangalan mo eh. Pag sinabing OFW na naghirap abroad, nakaranas ng kung ano-anong mga challenges at mga adventures abroad, Pebbles Chururut talaga yung nangunguna
Kaya
sa
nga,
listahan.
pinalingan ko yung paglabas mo ngayon, naghikaw ako ng dayak para lalo nilang mapansin.
Napansin ko nga po kaagad, nahiya naman yung hikaw ko sa hikaw mo,
Oo,
ma'am.
diba?
Nakakatuwa naman, ma'am, yung screen name, Pebbles Chururut. Bakit po Chururut?
Actually, nagsimula talaga yan kay Pebbles de Asis. Yung natin, Binibining Pilipinas Universe 1987 na inilaban natin sa ibang bansa. So, nung nakita nila ako, tapos nakita nila si Pebbles, sabi nila sa akin, "Hoy, kahawig mo si Pebbles." Sabi nila gano'n. Bakit hindi nilang i-Pebbles yung screen name mo? So, tinignan ko sa nga, slide kahawig ko nga. So, sige, simula ngayon, Pebbles na yung screen name ko. Doon nag-start lahat. And, yung totoong Pebbles de Asis is my friend.
Ay, talaga?
Yes!
Pero, ano po, Pebbles Chururut. Pero, ma'am, kung mamarapatin nyo, pwede ko bang malaman kung ano yung totoong pangalan nyo? O hindi?
Totoong pangalan ko talaga ay Vicente Cunanan.
Vicente? Ang layo.
Vicente, ang layo, di ba? Sabi ko nga, si nanay naman, hindi pa sinusyalan ng konti. Hindi pa ginawa Vincent. Di ba?
Vicente
Bakit Vicente mo pa? Masyadong bayani, masyadong Pilipino.
Pero at least 'di ba ngayon po Pebbles Churro, 'di ba? Pebbles. Oh, wow. Parang
Pebbles.
pa-sweet na na.
Parang bato.
Bato pero pa-sweet, alam niyo 'yon. O, 'di ba? Ganyan. So, ma'am, ito, sa pagsisimula nitong ating conversation, syempre gusto namin kasing malaman yung ilang mga bagay tungkol po sa inyong buhay, yung mga experiences nyo in the past, para po makarelate sa inyo yung ating mga netizens, yung ating mga katribu. Kasi po, yan, ngayon gusto naming malaman kung growing up, habang kayo'y lumalaki, alam nyo na po ba sa sarili mo na iba ka sa mga lalaki? Na-realize mo na po ba, bata ka pa lang, na you belong to the LGBTQ+ community?
Yes, alam ko na kasi actually, 6 kaming magkakapatid, 5 kaming lalaki, 1 lang yung babae, yung bunso lang namin.
Oh, yung taray naman
So,
yung picture.
Ay, naku, asa na siya?
Ang
Nasaan
ganda!
siya?
O, tapos po, ano
Ano
pa
naman kasi
nangyari?
that was siguro, yan yung pinakita na yan, 18 years old pa lang ako dyan. Yan.
Okay.
Dito, nasa 30 plus na ako, mga 32.
Okay. Pero ilang taon nyo po na-realize? Ilang taon kayo nung na-realize nyo na?
Sinabi ko kanina, 5 kaming lalaki. So, magkakalapit lang yung edad namin. Yung panganay namin, nasa 58 lang. Tapos, sumunod, yung 58, tapos 56, 55, yan. Magkakasunod lang kami. So, hindi ako nakikipaglaro sa kanila. Nakikipaglaro ako dun sa mga kapitbahay naming babae na parang nafe-feel na siguro ng nanay at tatay ko na parang kakaiba si Vicente, si Enteng. Enteng tawag nila sa akin eh. Saka kahit anong yayang laro sa akin ng mga kapatid kong lalaki, hindi ako talaga nakikipaglaro.
Ano bang laro nila? Ano pong mga laro nila nun?
Yung mga baril-barilan, ganyan, takbuhan.
Ano pong nilalaro nyo?
Piko, saka Chinese garter.
Wow! Eh, then, taas nyo palang tumalon, ma'am.
Yes, saka kapag namimili ng laruan si Nani, nagpapapili siya. Hindi ako pong bibili ng mga baril-barilan, yung mga panlalaki. Gusto ko manika.
Manika.
Oo.
Okay. Pero, ano yan, for sure, meron kayong mga naranasang struggles, no?
Oo, marami.
Dinanas nyo rin po ba yung yung kagaya ng ibang dinaranas ng iba nating mga gays na minaltrato o hindi kaya naman yung hindi matanggap ng mga magulang?
Actually, dahil sa puro lalaki yung kapatid ko, nahiya akong magladlad.
O tinago nyo?
Tinago ko, nung lumalaki na ako, sinabayan ko na yung pagiging lalaki nila. Nahiya akong magladlad dahil nga puro lalaking kapatid ko, tapos sa Tondo ako nakatira, maraming bully sa Tondo. And nung nag-high school ako, para lang maitago ko siya, nag-CAP ako. Ganyan. Tinago ko talaga, hindi si nanay at si tatay yung kumastigo sa akin, kundi yung kapatid kong panganay. Nung nalaman niya na bakla ako, siya yung kumastigo sa akin.
Paano niya po nalaman?
Isang beses, umaten ako ng beauty contest, sumali ako ng beauty contest. Medyo malayo na nga yung lugar. Hindi ko alam na yung kapitbahay namin is doon pala nakadestino. So napanood niya ako. Nung umuwi na siya ng Tondo, sinabi niya sa kuya ko na, hoy, si Enteng, napanood ko sa beauty contest, nanalo pa nga. Yung trophy ng mga napapanalunan ko, hindi ko inuuwi yun. Pinatatago ko yun sa mamamamahan ko sa parlor niya. Doon yung nakadisplay. Kasi nga ayoko malaman nila na ba din ako.
Okay. Tapos, paano kanya kinumpronta?
Suntok agad.
Hala?
Ganon kalala ang kuya. Suntok siya agad. Kung saan siya nakakakita ng pagbabago sa akin, kunyari nakita niya yung kilay ko na one line na sa kilay niya ako susuntukin. Nakita niyang umuusbong yung suso ko. Sa suso niya ako susuntukin. I'm sorry po. Nakapagsalita ako sa breast.
Oo. Pero grabe, no? Pero ngayon po ba may galit kayo doon sa kuya mo? O napatawad mo na?
Wala na. Wala na akong galit. Kasi siguro, ano lang yun ang, baka nahihiya siya kasi yung mga barkada niya, mga police, ano siya nun eh, criminology ang course niya nun eh. So, lalaki, parang hindi niya siguro bet na, tas yung mga mga gay pa sa paligid namin, yung medyo babastusin yung dating. Ayaw niya lang siguro ako matulad sa ganun. Pero dumating din naman yung time na natanggap niya lahat nung nagja-Japan na ako.
Pero yung mga magulang nyo?
Walang say. Sobrang nilab ako ni nanay at ni tatay.
Talaga? Nung nalaman po nila, ganun?
Wala silang say actually kapag ino-ombag na ako ng badir. Ang badir, inaakap ako eh.
Sino nang-oombag sa inyo?
Ang badir, yung panganay namin.
Ay, panganay. Ano po? Anong tawag?
Bradir.
Bradir.
Yung brother.
Brother.
Ano, sa gay linggo, bradir. Tapos kapag ate naman, sisteret, yung mga ganyan.
Okay. Pero, Ma'am Pebbles, pakikwento naman sa amin, no, yung kung paano at kailan ka naging OFW. Pinangarap mo ba talaga yan? Yung pagiging, kasi I heard, no, pero correct me if I'm wrong, kung naging entertainer kayo sa Japan?
Yes, oo. Dancer
Paano po? Kailan kayo naging OFW?
Ano yung kasi, yung mga kapitbahay namin, kasi usong-uso ng Saudi, actually usong-uso ng Saudi eh. Hindi naman ganun kauso pa yung Japan. So sabi ko, tapos nakikita ko yung mga kapitbahay namin, nag-uuwi ng mga parang malalaking carpet na linalagay sa wall. Magaganda mga gamit sa Saudi. Sabi ko kapag nakapagtapos ako ng pag-aaral, mag-a-abroad din ako. Itong second year college ako nun sa PUP, may grupo kami, puro kami mga gay, mga dancer ng PUP.
Ganda nyo, oh.
Ay!
Grabe.
Hindi pa uso ang botox at edit ha.
Hindi pa uso filter, okay.
Yung mga kaibigan kong gay sa PUP, sabi nila, hoy, ang uso ngayon ng audition, nangangailangan ng entertainer sa Japan. Halika mag-audition tayo. Sabi ko gano'n kasi ang pangarap sa akin ni nanay talaga, makapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Sabi ko, sige, mauna na kayo. Kapag natanggap kayo, susunod ako. In 6 months time na nag-a-apply sila, nakabiyahe sila agad.
Okay.
Tapos after 6 months na
anong year po yan?
1987.
1987? Okay.
Tapos pag uwi nila, ang dami-dami nilang pera, nagpa-swimming sila, gano'n. Kaya sabi ko, mag-a-apply na ako. Hindi ko sinabi sa nanay ko na nag-apply ako, na nag-audition ako for Japan kasi ang pangarap niya nga sa akin makatapos ng pag-aaral. Sinabi ko na lang sa kanya, kinabukasan, paalis na ako.
Paano niya tinanggap?
Umiyak. Iyak siya ng iyak. Hindi na yun sa pagtatapos ng pag-aaral eh. Yung pag-aalala na mag-iingat ka doon. Kasi nung bago ako umalis, binigay na ng agency yung pera, yung allowance namin, mamimili na kami ng gamit. Tinaya ko siya sa labas at ko, halika, samahan mo ko. Bibili tayo ng maleta. Ayun na, alala ko, tuloy naiyak ako. Tapos sabi niya, bakit bibili tayo ng maleta? Kasi mag-a-abroad na ako. Tapos umiyak siya.
Oh, kamusta po ba yung mother niyo po? Ano pa? Nandito pa po?
Wala na. Pareho na silang
Ah.
wala ni tatay.
Okay. So, parang naaalala nyo ngayon, no, ano, yung mga memories.
Oo, kaya kailangan ko pala ng tissue sa tabi.
Pero alam niyo po ba, no, ma-mention ko lang, kasi ito, yung office, pinadalan kami ng mga trivia, no. Sabi nila, marami daw talaga mga OFW sa Japan. Siguro mga nasa around, ano yan nasa 200,000 yung mga naghahanap buhay na Filipino doon, gaya po ng mga
Kailan
teachers.
siya? Ngayon or yung dati?
Ngayon.
Ngayon, mas lalo na dati.
Mas lalo,
Nung
mas marami
sobrang-
dati. Okay.
Oo, nung sobrang malakas na malakas ang ekonomiya ng Japan. Ang tawag nila doon is bubble jidai in Japanese. Yung bubble jidai, ang tawag nila doon. Ibig sabihin is yung, di ba dumating yung time na sobrang lakas ng Japan.
Oo.
Lahat ng yung ekonomiya nila napakataas. Sila yung number 1 sa buong mundo. Yun yung time na nasa Japan ako na talaga namang umuulan ng pera.
Talaga?
Yes, totoo yung sinasabi nila na yung bayong mo mapupuno sa isang araw, aapaw pa.
Talaga? Oo, yun yan. Kaya nga sinasabi dito na ang dami daw mga Filipinos doon, mga teacher, mga engineer, hotel staff, caregivers, IT professionals, at lumalaki din daw po yung bilang ng mga Filipino nasa larangan ng food and entertainment industries. Pati po maritime. Ganon. Nung time nyo po, mas marami pa.
Hindi, nung time namin, mas marami ang entertainer talaga.
Entertainer ang marami?
Marami ang entertainer. Yung mga, kailan lang naman nauso yung caregiver yung mga nurses na yan na ipinadadala sa Japan. Kailan lang nauso yan? Kasi kapag sa Japan naman, hindi ka makakapag-work ng ganyan yung mga caregiver kapag hindi ka marunong magsalita ng
Okay.
Japanese.
Pero
Kasi
po kapag pag mga entertainer, ma'am, ano po ba yan? Yung ba yung tinatawag ng mga Japayuki? O iba pa yun?
Yes, ang tawag sa amin, Japayuki.
Japayuki. Okay, okay. Oy, pero po, ayan So, ayan, ang dami nating natututunan ngayon. Mamaya, mai-immerse pa tayo lalo sa kultura ng mga Japanese, no, dito sa, as we go along this conversation. Pero, muli po tayo magbabalik pagkatapos lamang po ng ilang paalala. Ayan, muli po nagbabalik ang ating usapang OFW. Kasama pa rin si Pebbles Kunanan, also known as Pebbles Chururut. Ma'am Pebbles, nandiyan ka pa ba?
Oo, kumuha ako ng tissue kasi alam ko maiiyak ako.
Walang tissue. Paano niyo po ba, going back, no, paano po yung naging buhay niyo sa Japan and how did you settle there? So pagdating mo, syempre, di ba, bagong kultura, bagong environment, paano kayo nakapag-settle?
Ang maganda kasi doon, nung nag-aaral ako sa PUP ng BS Tourism, ang major ko is Japanese language.
Okay. So marunong nakakaintindi kayo?
So pagdating ko doon, first timer pa lang ako, nakakapagsalita na ako ng konting Japanese.
Okay.
Tapos yung akin pa is not yung pangkalye. Yung sa akin is yung talagang salita na
yung
normal. Yung normal na salita kasi ang professor ko talaga nun sa PUP is talagang Japanese. Ako talaga yung professor ko. So sa pagsasalita, madali akong nakaka-catch up na natuto. Ang nahirapan ako yung klima kasi dumating ako dun winter. Tapos first timer ko is yung pinakamalamig na lugar sa Japan, which is Hokkaido.
Sa Hokkaido po. Okay.
Matutuwa ka doon kasi tuwang-tuwa ako na nakikita ko umuulan ng yelo, ng snow.
So ano po yun? Doon ba kayo nagtagal sa Hokkaido?
Hindi, ang dati kasi, ang kontrata namin is 6 na buwan lang.
Okay.
Tapos uuwi ka uli, maghihintay ka uli ng 6 na buwan para makabiyahe.
Okay. Tapos po, after Hokkaido, saan na po kayo?
Napunta ko ng Hiroshima.
Okay.
Yung bombing of Hiroshima, walking distance lang yun sa club namin.
Okay.
Napunta ako ng Hiroshima, napunta ako ng Yamaguchi, ng Kyushu, and then doon na nag-start na tumakas ako.
Nung pumunta po kayo doon, legal kayo, what do you mean po na tumakas?
Legal ako nang pumunta ako doon.
Okay.
Legal ako talaga. Yung 4 na biyahe kong sunod-sunod, 5 biyahe kong sunod-sunod na 6 months, legal ako doon.
Okay.
Pero yung 6 na, yung 5 ko, hindi na ako umuwi.
Bakit po?
Kasi natatagalan ako doon sa sistema na naghihintay ng 6 na buwan.
So parang nababakante ka ng 6 na buwan bago ka ulit?
May ipon ka nga, nauubos din after ng pag-ipon mo. Tapos ipon ka na naman ng 6 months, tapos maghihintay ka na naman ng 6 months. Sabi ko, hindi tuloy-tuloy. Sabi ko, alam ko na ang gagawin ko, tatakas na lang ako.
Pero
hindi ako.
Ano yung nag-push sa'yo para gawin yan? I mean, kayo po ba yung breadwinner? Sinusuportahan niyo yung buong pamilya niyo? Paano po?
Ako yung breadwinner ng family.
Okay.
And wala naman trabaho si tatay. Tapos si nanay nagtitinda lang ng kakanin, ng mga lugaw, champurado, ganyan, sa umaga. Hindi nakapagtapos ang mga kapatid ko. Natigil sila sa pag-aaral kasi hindi na kinakaya ng nanay. Dahil 4 kaming, di ba sabi ko nga kanina, magkakapatay yung edad namin. So 4 kaming nag-high school, 4 kaming nag-college. Hindi niya kaya.
Kaya kayo nag-decide na rin na mag-abroad, no?
Tapos nakita ko rin yung hirap ng nanay ko na gumigising na madaling araw para mamili, tapos iluluto pa nila, ititinda nila, halos walang pahinga. Ang totoo niyan, hindi lang sa kapatid naman yung pangarap ko eh. Ang pangarap ko, yung maiahon si nanay at tatay sa hirap na hindi na nila kailangan gumising pa na madaling araw, para lang mamalengke, magbuhat na mabibigat, tapos lulutuin pa nila, sila'y mag-iiwa, sila'y maghuhugas, sila'y magtitinda. Yun yung talagang pangarap ko na mabigyan sila ng magandang buhay.
May mga kapatid ka po ba napatapos mo na pag-aaral?
Hindi, mga pamangkin.
Mga pamangkin na.
Mga pamangkin na. Kasi ayaw na nila mag-aral that time.
Kasi nagtatrabaho na. Nagtatrabaho na po, no? Okay. Pero may mga kapatid ka po ba? May mga kapatid ka po ba na dala mo rin sa Japan?
Lahat sila nadala ko.
Yung galing Ang galing. Okay, pero Ma'am Pebbles, naging matagumpay ka ba doon as a talent or an entertainer? At paano mo
Oo,
i-describe? Paano mo i-describe yung sarili mo noon? Naging para bang ano ka? Parang star of the club? May mga ganun bang eksena?
Oo, sobra. Ang sarap ng feeling ng ganun. Yung ikaw yung number one, tapos sa show, ikaw yung nasa gitna, tapos backup mo lang mga Japanese. Naranasan ko yun.
Talaga?
So,
Kasi naman looking at you, direct patingin ako ulit ng mga dating pictures ni Ma'am Pebbles nung nasa Japan pa siya. Kasi kanina nakita ko talaga
maraming transgender na Filipina, tapos mamimili ng 3 lalabas sa TV para i-promote. Isa ako sa lumabas dyan, isa ako sa napili. Ibig sabihin maganda.
sa Japan, ganon.
Oo, lumabas ako sa TV sa Japan.
Okay. So, dun po sa club, parang kayo yung lead, ganon? Ano bang tawag dun?
Ganon kasi yung ibig sabihin sa Japan, kapag number one ka, ikaw yung nagpapasok ng maraming pera sa club.
Dahil maraming customer na kayo yung hinahanap.
Customer, oo. Marami kang customer, marami kang napapabili ng alak, marami kang request. Kasi sa Japan, pag pinatawag ka ng customer, pinaupo ka, may bayad yun.
Pinaupo ka pa lang nun,
Oo, tatawagin ka nila. May bayad na yun, may request yun. May bayad yung request na yun. 2,000 yen. Yung kalahati sa'yo, yung kalahati sa club mo pupunta.
Hindi, ang dami mo palang pera nung mga time na yun, Ma'am Pe.
Oo, nawala na.
Pero Ma'am Pebbles, kasi sobrang ganda mo. Lalo na dun sa mga pictures mo nung mas mas bata, no? May mga forgive me for asking this, no? Pero we have to know, meron kang mga nakarelasyon doon? May mga naging boyfriend ka ba?
Oo, marami ring upiyak.
Kasi po, di ba, may mga kakilala tayo, may mga kaibigan tayo na nagpunta doon, tapos nakatagpo ng mga Hapon na nagmahal talaga sa kanila.
Oo,
Kayo
ako, marami. Sobra marami. Pero hindi ko kasi ako yung, ako kasi once na nagkaroon ng karelasyong Japanese, doon ako nasisira.
Paano po?
Seryoso ko Hindi ako tulad ng iba na trabaho lang. Iba kaya hindi ako pwedeng ma-in love. Kapag na-in love ako, nasisira yung trabaho. Hindi ko maipagsama yung love sa yung work.
So na-in love ka talaga?
Na-in love talaga ako, as in lahat ng customer ko hindi ko pinapansin. Halos hindi ko na sila inuupuan. Hindi ako pupunta sa table nila. Lalo na kapag yung jowa ko yung boyfriend ko nasa club, nandun lang ako sa kanya 48 years. Dahil magagalit kapag umupo ako sa iba. Hindi naman mayaman.
Oo. Pero ano po yan? Can you describe siguro yung most, kumbaga yung love of your life? Meron ka bang naging ganon sa Japan?
Meron. Sa Japan meron. Alam mo kung ako pa yung nagmatrona.
Anong matrona?
Ako yung nagbabayad ng bahay namin, ilaw, tubig, gas. Hindi ko siya pinagtrabaho.
Bakit? Ano ba siya? Nagtatrabaho siya before?
Japanese siya, ha?
Okay, Japanese.
Nila, hoy, nakakaloka ka. Sa Pilipino lang yan ginagawa. Bakit sa Hapon mo yan ginawa?
Paano po kayo nagkakilala? Sorry,
naging customer ka.
Okay.
Tapos ayun, naging magjowa kami. Ano lang siya, salaryman kasi ang tawag nila dun sa mga yung dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa opisina. Ang tawag nila sa Japan, salaryman. Ang sweldo nun, hindi ganun kalakihan. Sa Japan kasi, mas mahirap ang trabaho mo. Mas malaki ang sweldo mo. Mas malaki ang sweldo ng mga construction worker kesa sa mga nag-oopisina.
Yung mga parang mga skilled, mga hard labor, mga ganyan.
Sa Japan. Sa Japan, milyonaryo ang mga mangingisda at magsasaka.
Hanggang ngayon po ba ganun?
Gets ganun sa kanila. Pero once na nagtatrabaho ka lang sa isang opisina, hindi ganun kalakihan ng sweldo mo. Dito kasi sa atin sa Pilipinas, yung mga graduate ang mas may advantage na magkaroon ng malaking sweldo. Na maging mayaman. Sa Japan, hindi. Kahit hindi ka graduate, kahit na construction worker ka lang, sumisweldo sila ng isang araw to, sumisweldo sila ng 15,000 pesos na sa pera natin a day.
Okay. Pero
ang construction worker, mga skilled workers.
Ano ba yan? Dapat po, dati nyo pa sinabi sa akin yan para nasabi ko sa magulang ko na maging mangingisda ako sa sa Japan.
Pero
ayun po, going back to the love of your life in Japan. Nasaan na po ngayon yung hapon ngayon? Kasi alam ko single kayo ngayon eh. So, gusto ko malaman nasaan na po yung hapon na yon.
Actually,
And how did you break up?
Tapos we're friends. Ano siya, nag-asawa siya ng Pinay.
Pinay. Na
Yes,
babae talaga?
Oo.
Wala, hindi po kayo, ano yun, yung Pinay po na yun, kilala nyo?
Hindi.
Nakilala nyo?
Sa club din siya nagtatrabaho.
Sorry for asking, no, pero ano bang, curious ako, no, paano yung nararamdaman paano yung naramdaman ng isang Pebbles Chururut nung nalaman mo na merong isang Pinay na babae na espesyal sa puso nung hapon na mahal mo?
Sobrang nasaktan ako. Sobrang ang sakit-sakit na dumating yung time na hindi na ako nagtatrabaho, hindi ako lumalabas ng bahay, nag-drugs ako.
Noong time na yon.
Yeah, yes. Nag-drugs ako, hindi ako nagtatrabaho, tumatawag na yung mga sang namin, bakit hindi ako pumapasok, wala akong gusto makausap, hindi ako naliligo, isip lang ako ng isip, inaamat yung babae, amats, yun ba yung isip ng amats? Yung mini-message yung babae, inaaway ko siya.
Paano niyo po ba nalaman? So parang pinagsabay kayo, ganun.
Oo, dumating na kasi yung time na nagtrabaho na siya, tapos nalistino siya sa ibang lugar.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi na siya umuwi madalas. Tapos, yung kasi kapag birthday ko, very special talaga. Nasa club na agad yan. Nung birthday ko, bago ako mag-birthday, pagbukas ko ng cabinet, may nakita akong pabango, nakabalot na, naka-wrap na. Sabi ko, ay, naku, mukhang sa akin ibibigay ito ni Daddy. Dumaan yung birthday ko, wala siyang inabot.
Oh. Okay. Tapos doon na kayo naghinala?
Doon ako naghinala, isang beses, natutulog siya, kinalkal ko yung telepono. Ayun, nakikita ko nga, meron siyang babae.
So hindi pala totoo yung yung iba kasing mga kaibigan namin, ang sinasabi nila, no, kapag daw, sa isang transgender o sa mga gays, kapag daw pinagpalit ka sa babae, maiintindihan o hindi masakit. Pero kapag pinagpalit ka sa kaparehas mong transgender o bading, yun yung mas nakakagalit para sa inyo. So, hindi pala totoo. Kasi, yan, kahit babae yung pinalit
kasi,
sa inyo.
Malakas ang loob ko na hindi niya ako ipagpapalit sa kapwa ko transgender kasi ang ganda ko nun.
Okay.
Hindi sa pagmalaki. Ang ganda ko nun. Pwedeng dinidisplay niya ako eh.
Mm.
So,